give you guys
Hi, good morning.
a flash drive or something.
So here's the thing. I understand that sometimes with the nature of the case that the state will not
You let me
agree
know
to
who-
early termination. But
But since
at the
so I
end
can,
of the
if
day,
that is needed, I can.
the reason why I have defendants come in when they want early termination is because
No,
they're
when I
trying to
can get it
figure
this
out
afternoon, that's how interested I
if
am.
you just check boxes on the courses
can
that
go
I've
buy
given you,
one.
or if you really internalize.
But-
And what I can tell you is you are the first person who's come before me with this type of case and said
Okay,
that
but who should I contact?
you didn't realize that the certain tone you use in your voice, that you shouldn't use that. So
Okay,
you've successfully completed everything. Probation at the last hearing said you had successfully completed everything. But because of the nature of your case, I wanted the complainant to know that the court was going to grant early termination. So I told you then that whether or not the early termination is signed off today was completely in your hands. If you followed everything and didn't violate any conditions and continued on probation, then I would sign it. So probation has told me that none of that happened, that you've done great. The state has informed me that the complainant has been contacted, so I'm going to grant your motion for early termination. You're welcome. And counsel, I'll sign your, well, I'll sign probation. They have a form for me to sign for early termination, so that will be signed.
Judge, we had requested both early termination and a dismissal.
yeah, I'll
discharge.
try. I don't have much this morning.
Uh,
I'm not going to do the dismissal.
All right, thank you. I'll do that.
And I will tell you that not allowing you the dismissal is based upon all the evidence that I've heard. That's the reason why. Okay. It's, you know, in some cases I have allowed it, but I'm not going to allow it in this case, but I will do the early
If you want to work on that,
termination.
I'll stay here for a minute.
My only point is that he has been on this for a long time, like we think roughly 7 years under court supervision, and he's done everything, and this would
Thank you.
be slightly better way, we think, once he applies for the post office, if we have the, and the statute does allow for it.
He hasn't been on, it
Not on
hasn't been 7
probation.
years. Yes, yes.
But under court supervision, that is pretrial services from the time of his arrest, through trial, through appeal, coming to court every time.
So I'm not inclined to grant that. If you want to confer with the state and see if they would be in agreement to that, I'll consider it. But at this point, I'm not inclined to grant that.
Well, we appreciate the court's consideration, Your Honor. And I will, Mr. Harris still around?
I think he's stepped in the hallway, but what I'll do is I'm going to sign the early termination that probation is going to provide. And if you want a copy of that, they'll give you a copy of that. Just remain in the courtroom.
Okay,
All right.
thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
yeah.
much.
Judge, if you just give me a moment, I'll get it ready. I'm having issues with my computer.
Oh, no problem.
Your Honor, may I speak to the court
Yes,
on the case?
yes.
Mr. Harris has agreed to look into the matter. Can we take what we have today and go with that and then come back to the court
Sure.
for reconsideration, possibly if they decide they have no opposition to this, or if they want some input to it?
Sure. And I'll, as I said, I'll keep an open mind.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hello. Come forward. All right. Hello. You're in the center and your attorney's on this side. So you're Eric Cepeda?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Thank you for addressing appropriately for court. All right. So defense, I have this motion to reduce bond. Of course, that's
It's just waive fees. The reduced bond was, I forgot to cross it off on the original copy. It's just waive fees.
all right. So it's the waive fees of the GPS?
Yes, Judge, that's all we're asking.
All right, so with regards to waiving the fees of the GPS, because he's not in custody, I'll need to take some testimony.
Okay.
And Mr. Cepeda, that testimony will solely be related to your ability to pay the GPS fees. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Cindy, let us know when you're ready.
Okay, I should be okay for now.
Okay.
I have 1 minute, Judge.
Sure.
Let me talk to you for 1 second.
All right, sure. Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
All
Yeah.
right.
On the tender to the court, I signed, I just,
But I didn't have.
I crossed up the reduced fund everywhere except the title, so I don't know. I just.
Yeah,
Okay.
Judge, and that writ that we filed and the motion and all
Oh.
that stuff.
Oh, let me just tell you, I don't even have any of that. This is the
Okay,
only
okay.
thing that I have.
Perfect. Yeah,
Okay,
all that, we don't.
So
need to
we'll
be
go
able
with
to do
this.
any of that, except for the motion to reduce.
okay.
You want to do it?
So just. Is it working now, Cindy?
Yeah, I'm good.
Ah, okay, it's working. Do you
Well,
still need
there's-
IT or no?
Yes, there's a couple of them that aren't working, but one's working for now for you to do this.
All right, this should take 5 minutes. Or maybe 8. All right, the court is calling 2025 PF 07201, State versus Eric Ray Cepeda. Can I have parties announced for the record, State?
I'm sorry, Judge. Jason Garahan for the state.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Del Garza and Charles Bunk for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Cepeda?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so defense, you did have a motion to reduce bond. That's moot because your client has made bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
So now you're before the court and you're asking that GPS fees be waived. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any witnesses with regards to the waiver of the GPS fees?
Yes, Your Honor. For the limited purpose of this hearing, we would call Mr. Eric Cepeda.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Say it right now.
You may lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Eric Cepeda.
All right, so this hearing is solely to determine whether or not you're able to pay your GPS fees. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense, you may ask your questions.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, sir. And you're the defendant in this case, right? Okay, and just let me ask you, you are on bond in this case, right?
Yes.
And are you wearing a ankle monitor?
Yes.
It's a GPS monitor, right?
Yes, sir.
And there are fees associated with that monthly, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And are they $300 a month?
Yes, sir.
And are you working right now?
No, sir.
Were you working at the time
No, sir.
that you were arrested?
No, sir.
And do you own any stocks or bonds?
No, sir.
Do you own any real estate?
No, sir.
Do you own a car?
No, sir.
Do you own anything of value that can be sold?
No, sir.
Do you live with your parents right now?
Yes, sir.
Are you on full house arrest?
Yes, sir.
And do you solely rely on your parents for shelter
Yes, sir.
and food
Yes, sir.
and monthly expenses?
Yes, sir.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Any questions?
No questions from the state, no.
All right, I just have a few questions. When were you released from custody? Defense, do you know when he was released? Just approximately.
About a week, Judge.
And how old are you?
17, ma'am.
All right. All right, and you're on full house arrest.
Yes, ma'am.
And since you released, have you tried to seek employment over the internet or anything of that nature?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And have you previously been employed?
No, ma'am.
All right. Then if there is no other testimony, the court is going to grant the motion to waive GPS fees. All right, any other motions?
That's all we have on this issue.
All right, so of course, this case has not been indicted, and the reason why I said it is because of the nature of the case. I wanted to make sure, and I know with the attorneys that are on each of the defendants' cases, there will be communication, but I wanted to make sure if there's any issues with downloading anything such as videos, or if there's going to be a cell phone dump, we can go off the record that communication is constantly open. So defense, if there's any type of issue with something you can't download, please, I know you all wouldn't, but please don't wait till the last minute to say, I can't download this.
No, Your Honor. No, we've both known Mr. Garahan a long time. I'm pretty sure we even have his phone number. So if there's any issues like that, I'll text him or call him. And what I typically do on these cases is I just bring them a big old drive from Costco with 4 terabytes or whatever. And I just ask them to throw everything on there. And if there's anything that needs to be supplemented, and I did this as recently as this week,
Okay.
then I'll bring them another drive or I'll download it from eDiscovery. But
Okay,
I'll make sure that there's no issues.
all right. And Mr. Cepeda, I'm not the one who set the bond in either of these cases. But what I want to tell you is, sometimes with the GPS, people will say, my battery is running low or something's wrong with the GPS. You need to stay in contact with your pretrial services officer. And if there's an issue with the GPS, you need to let them know beforehand there's an issue. Because if I receive pretrial services notices that they've lost contact with your GPS because of the nature of your offense, I'm going to sign it. And then we can have a hearing later, of course, about what happened, but don't let it get to that point. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this is what I'm going to do on this case. I'm going to reset it for May. So if you all can look on a date in late May that is good for everyone. And again, it's just to see where we are to make sure information is still flowing, which I know it will, but I just don't like cases to be out there and nobody's had real contact, okay?
Yes, Judge.
So just let me know what date would be good for all parties. And Jason, I know you have capital murders that are already pending in murder cases, so if May is not a good date to bring this back, if June would be better, just let the court know. And guys, since this is a case where it's 3 co-defendants, and that really puts a strains on the deputies because they have to keep them separated. Deputy Laura I'm sure Friday would probably be best, or Wednesday, Friday or Wednesday, as opposed to bringing them on a Thursday or Tuesday where there are a lot of people.
May the 21st, Judge.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, this is going to be called for May 21st. And we'll just set it as a discovery.
Excellent.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
Not from the state, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about anything?
No, ma'am.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused. All right, thank you. Thank you. Oh, you can have a seat. They'll bring a reset form to you. And Suzanne Kramer?
I could give her, Judge, I think she stepped out to talk to the defendant's parents.
All right, thank you. And Suzanne, are you ready on your client?
Such as it is, Judge, yes.
All right, come down, sir. Yes. Hello, you are Roberto Monreal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so the reason why I set these cases was because the nature of the offense, and I just want to make sure that communication is open between the state and the defense. And I know both of the attorneys, I'm sure communication will be open. My understanding from the other 2 defendants that were here is there is a lot of discovery and there are some downloads. So if there needs to be a drive or something turned over to state, just make sure that's done.
Yes, Judge, and just for the record, I can do that with Jason. The only thing we have on our discovery is the affidavit in support of the arrest warrant still. That's all we've got.
Okay.
Jason just gave me this today. It's all single space, teeny tiny. There's no way I can read this morning and
Oh, no, I'm not expecting y'all to. I'm just trying to make sure that discovery is given. So.
well, and we
I
also
know
have a
we'll be
motion to
given.
reduce bond. But I, in talking to Jason and looking at this, I think it would be in my client's best interest to push that to another day so I can argue this more intelligently than I could today.
No. I'm having people come back on May 21st.
Is that a good day
That's
for
the
you?
same date as the co-defendants are saying.
Yes. And on these cases, I have to set it either for Wednesday or Friday because it's difficult for deputies to bring inmates over there on our regular docket because of the nature of the offense.
I think one of them is on bond. I don't know
One
about
of them may.
Yes.
the other. I
Just
mean,
aware of that.
isn't it better to have them not set on the same day in terms of being able to bring them out?
No, because then that makes it difficult for the state and it makes it difficult for the deputies to keep up with everything. And then if this ends up not being a dismissal or an agreement, but ends up being a jury trial, the coordinator likes to have them set together so that everyone can get a similar date and time. All right. Do you have any questions, sir?
Mayor.
All right. So we'll bring you back on the 21st. And defense, if you have any motions that you would like filed, just confer with Ms. Ferguson and she'll put it on a date.
Yeah, you already signed my expert motion, but Monica filed a while ago the motion to reduce bond. So at some point, I think before the 21st, I would like to have a hearing on the motion to reduce bond.
Oh,
If
just,
that's possible.
yes,
Yeah.
just confer with Ms. Ferguson on what date you want it on and we'll get that on the
Okay.
a date before you all leave. But the discovery date is still going to be May 21st.
You're gonna have everything to do.
No, it's not. It's It's ongoing discovery. Okay,
Yeah.
yes,
I mean,
I can bring you a hard drive.
that's fine.
I mean, and again, I mean, I think everybody's aware that this is still on the intake level. and
Yes.
I'm not in possession of the file. I just printed out the main report.
I know that I spoke with Laura Metzfold or
Metzel, yes.
a couple of weeks ago, and she said that Detective Graham was going to bring her discovery and it would get uploaded. And since nothing's there, I'm assuming that hasn't happened yet.
Yes. And then if you both can confer, if you all are expecting me to hear the bond, if you all can confer on a date so that everybody
I
can
need
be
to
ready.
talk to Monica to make sure she's available too.
Okay,
And Judge, just let you, I mean, I want to make sure, there is a co-defendant that is in juvenile. Just to let everybody be aware.
okay,
So there's 4 total.
all right.
I'll get that information. Okay, thank you.
It's in there.
I'll get, well, I was gonna see who the lawyer was, but I'll get a date from Norma as soon as I talk to Monica for the
Uh-huh.
motion to her bond.
All right. All right, thank
Thank you,
you.
Judge.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Oh, cool.
All right, with that, they will take you back. Suzanne, do you need to speak to him anymore?
Do you have any questions of me right now? I did speak to him very quickly before. Monica's been mostly the one, that's the task I assigned her, so she's been Zooming and ICSing with you.
Yeah.
So I think we're covered on that.
All right, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You're welcome.
He's apparently on probation, on deferred here, Your Honor. He's 21 years old. I haven't met the young man yet. His mother and brother came over. Apparently, he's down in Brownsville. I think his girlfriend is from there.
Mhm.
And he's being detained there. I think it's his first motion to enter adjudication.
All right.
Just asking if you would set a bond. So I don't know if they're gonna extradite him over
Well,
here
for
or
me
they're gonna
to
release
to
him from
set
down
a
there.
bond, he either needs to zoom in, which probably the best way.
Okay.
So if you can speak to Ms. Ferguson, if he can zoom in today, we can have a short hearing on it today and I'll set a bond.
Okay, well, I don't know if they'll allow him to do that. I guess we'll wait
Oh,
till he
ask-
comes.
Ask Ms. Ferguson.
Oh, sorry.
All right, and this is Gabriel Echartia.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me just put this in the system, then we'll go on the record with this. And is Edelman going to be on this?
I'm sorry.
Is Mr. Edelman?
I spoke to Jason about it. I didn't speak to Mr. Edelman. It's a motion to set bond.
Well, if you
believe.
want to speak to him about it or let him know what your agreement, if you have one with Jason was.
Good weekend, Judge.
All right, you too.
I know.
And then who's-
Rashawn. On this case, I believe he's on deferred adjudication. Can you? Let me see if I have a copy of the motion to revoke.
Sounds about right.
Okay, oh, I think I see it in here. All right. We're gonna go on the record. And Mr. Echartia, could you unmute thank you. The court is calling 2024 CR 1497 State versus Gabriel Paul Echartia. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Oh my gosh, that's shocking for me. Okay. Could I have parties announce state
Andrew Harris, Sademan.
defense?
Jesse Sepulveda for Gabriel Paul Echartia.
And if you could state your name for the record, sir?
Gabriel Paul, each right there.
All right. So your client is appearing by Zoom. Any objection to us having this hearing with your client by Zoom?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, your defense counsel has filed a motion to set bond in this court, the 187th District Court. You're on deferred adjudication, so you're entitled to a bond. The only question is what the amount will be. Have you all discussed an agreement with regards to a bond?
I discussed it with Mr. Edelman as well as Jason Garahan, and they are recommending $10,000 bond, Your Honor. I believe the original amount when Mr. Echartia was originally arrested was $5,000.
All right. And the court, due to the fact that your client is on deferred adjudication out of this court, the court is aware of any type of prior substance abuse issues. But there are a few questions I would like to ask you with regards to your status now. If you could raise your right hand for me, please. Yes. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, and if you'll state your name for the record again, please.
Gabriel Paul Itractea.
All right. How long have you been in custody in the other county?
About a week, ma'am.
All right, since that time in custody, have you been placed on any type of mental health division of that jail?
No, ma'am, but they have requested and asked me if I would like to, and I denied.
All right, and so you're not on any type of medication?
No, ma'am.
All right, then what the court will do, the court will follow your agreed bond recommendation of $10,000. I'm going to order sober support meetings as a condition of your bond. And I'm going to require 30 in 30 days. And then we are going to set this for a hearing. We can go off the record. State, what is the status of the allegations in the motion? I think there is a number 1 with regards to reckless driving. And it's in Bear County. Would you have that police report?
No, Judge.
All
I
right.
might be able to look it up if you'll allow me to.
Yes. I just want to make sure that you have what's needed, and then I can give you all a setting.
Thank you, Judge.
And is he only there because of the warrant here?
I believe so. Is that right, Gabriel?
Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Judge, if I may, I was just retained a few days ago, but from what his mother has told me and his brother told me, apparently Gabriel was a complainant on a case. He was stabbed 4 times by some other individual, I think a boyfriend of one of his ex-girlfriends.
Mhm.
And I'd like to, I guess, just be given some time to inquire about that, because she says he's not the same individual, that he's had some issues afterwards, and I'm not sure if he's seen a psychologist or psychiatrist, but apparently it was a traumatic event for him.
Okay.
Is that right, Gabriel?
Yes, sir. I haven't seen a psychiatrist or a psychologist after the stabbing or anything. They recommended therapy through the state. The state was providing it, but after a while they started charging, so I couldn't afford it.
And then Ms. Ferguson, if you can bring this back the week of April 14th. Right. So
I think I had something in the juvenile on April 15th. On that same week, 14th. Yeah, can we do that?
all right. So your case is going to be recalled for April 14th. You should be released. If you are released, you need to be here at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
All right. Is there anything else, counsel?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
And be excused.
Yes, you may be excused.
Good week.
All right. And sir, you can let the deputy know that your hearing is complete. Your attorney will probably get in touch with you or get in touch with your family to see about your release.
All righty, thank you, ma'am, I will.
All right, you're welcome. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 010008, State versus Nicholas Cameron. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Salem, State.
Scott Hill for Mr. Cameron.
Are you Mr. Cameron?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at 180 days in the Bear County Jail under 1244. And there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead?
No contest.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I've spent a lot of time talking to Mr. Cameron, just trying to give him some counsel on some programs he can try to go after he's released from Bexar County Jail. He's gonna go stay with his mom, who's here out in Elmendorf. Elmendorf. Judge, he's been in custody for, I don't know the exact day, but it's been over probably 7 months. I don't think it's quite 9.
Almost nine.
Yeah, almost 9. So he's been in jail for a long time. He knows, he knows he's got to stay away from the drugs. And he knows that's an issue for him. So he's going to do his best. So I'm just asking the court to follow our plea bargain agreement.
All right. The court will find you guilty as previously stated, sentence you to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. Give you credit for any time served. All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
41.
All right, so here's the thing. You're getting to that point where time is going to go by so quickly for you, and you're going to have to start making decisions. Do you want to spend a majority of your time in jail or in prison? That's completely up to you. It's obvious that you have a drug problem. If you don't get that resolved, what's going to end up happening is either you're going to end up in jail or somebody's going to end up identifying your body. And I don't think you want your mom to have to be the person to have to identify your body in some field somewhere. You understand? But at the same point, if you're not prepared to live life truthfully and openly, where you're trying to improve yourself by becoming clean and sober, then don't visit that on your mother's doorstep. Just send her letters. If you want to be dishonest and say, Mom, I'm doing great, then do that. But don't let her have to see you continue to use over and over, because then that's burdening her, because she has to provide tough love for you, which usually mothers don't want to do. When they see their child hungry or they're not doing well, then a good mother, then they're not doing well if their children are not doing well. So you're going to have to make decisions. There are plenty of programs in San Antonio. There are plenty of programs in Elmendorf that can help you. But in order for you to be successful, you're going to have to change people, places, and things. And the only thing you should be doing is going to work and going home, and nothing in between, unless it's sober support meetings or some kind of treatment. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. Hello.
I was just trying to say, hey, I'm traveling from Houston, and I watch your videos every day.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, hey, my name's Sean. Nice to meet you.
All right. Nice to meet you too.
I just wanted to say, hey,
Oh, thank you so much. Who's here for Jessica Lopez? All right, come forward. We're going to go off the docket because they were early.
How you doing today,
Morning,
Judge?
Judge.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
It's good seeing you both.
Where's your
too,
green,
Judge.
Judge? Where's your green?
Oh, well, it's mixed in this top. Happy St. Patty's, right?
Yeah.
All right, so your case has been dismissed. Thank you so much for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
As I always tell people, when a case is dismissed, don't celebrate too much, but do enjoy the Riverwalk.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
great one.
much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Lawrence Felton.
Council President.
All right, and this is PTD?
It is, Your Honor. We received the contract for PTD early last week. I was just able to get in contact with my client. All the parties to the pretrial diversion contract signed it. It has been turned into the 4-4 window, Judge.
All right, can I have a reset date for PTD? All right, once you sign the reset form, you are excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
I appreciate it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Elon Gonzalez. Hello,
Good morning.
good morning. How's it going?
It's going. It's Monday.
Oh, yeah, but it's a beautiful day.
As usual.
All
How's the weekend?
Oh, it was great.
Beautiful day.
You know, everyone had their spring break, so everyone should be refreshed. So we will see how long the spring break glow lasts.
Exactly.
All right, why were you late for court?
Yes, ma'am. I had came up to the other side. I was trying to pay the parking.
I'm sorry, what?
I was trying to pay the parking thing.
Okay, so here's the thing. You need to make sure you're on time because you were here before where they filed an affidavit to surrender surety. You understand? All right, so where are we on PTD?
We got the application from Mr. Gonzalez last week. I'm gonna file that this morning with the DA's office, and we should anticipate getting the signed contract and everything back ASAP. I've got Mr. Gonzalez's emails. We've been able to communicate well. I'll get that to him as soon as we've got it, and should be able to get everything signed and done.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you'll recall this for PTD. All righty,
Perfect, Judge. Thank you.
thank you. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sports. Ezra Palmer and his friend Dakari Jackson live in the Sunrise subdivision, an area that's been plagued with crime and violence. These two have managed to stay out of trouble, but they say some of their friends have already had run-ins with the law.
Just stupid stuff like mostly peer pressure, like stealing from the store.
Yeah, kids trying to join gangs because there's nothing else to do.
National Youth Sports wants to make a difference.
Being from that area, you know, I haven't always been the man that I am today.
Frank Valdez is a volunteer coach. He says playing sports at a young age made a difference in his life.
Discipline, you know, how to respect authority, you know, how to follow through with a mission, you know, not quitting, you know, that winning attitude. And these kids are deprived of that.
The goal is to offer sports as an alternative as early as this summer. Ezra and Dakari and others just like them prefer sports too.
It'll give more kids my age and stuff like something to do besides, you know, get in trouble or just sit around.
All right, who's here on Dakari Jackson? All right, so why were you late?
My Uber driver got lost.
Uber. All right, so you know, here's the thing. You need to make sure that you're on time and your Uber driver getting lost. Were you not in the back seat or front seat telling him, hey, you're going the wrong way?
I was trying to, but like they weren't able to make like the turn that would get me on track. So just kept having
Okay.
the right to.
Well, I hope they didn't charge you extra for that.
I haven't figured that out yet.
Okay. All right. So you all need, well, just one moment. If I could see, you can have a seat. If I could see attorneys in the hallway, please. All right, Dreamer. Come forward. All right, Norma, on this case, recall this back on the 31st. There's an indicted case.
Two indicted cases, Your Honor.
Two indicted?
One's ours, the other one's with.
All right, and there's a case with Pick, so if you can make sure that they're here. All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. And just have a seat and your attorney will bring the reset form to you.